Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls. Whoopsie daisy. Hi! Sorry, you guys. Oh, thank you. I was indeed muted. Whoopsie daisy. Yay! We did it! Aw, thanks, guys. Sorry about that. Oopsie poopsie. First I rage bait the bird, and now this. No, I don't know what it was. Toothless is outside, actually. Chasing butterflies and living her best life. With that, the phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there is but one person in Asphodelos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. I would have figured it'd be pronounced Toothless. I hung around in the instance to make sure you didn't get all the trash from the chest. Oh, the Babolat, thank you. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Ooh. Who you calling inferior? Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creator cared to admit, or you are no mean trespasser. Why is my Moogle tome assigned to this glam plate? Did you guys hear that? The sound? Yes. Why? I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. It killed the mood. The next one rules, actually. Oh, yay. Ooh, hello. Who are you? Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such a chaos to your beloved Pandæmonium? Pandæmonium pities... Or wait, pities, no. Pitiless? Sorry guys, I can't read today. Pandæmonium, pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast, unlike those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. He's a vampire? Oh, Eric, must you pester me with these inane questions? Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. The next one is cool as fuck. Yes, let's go! This character is... Then again, you've never been one for insight. Why Master La Habrea suffers your mediocrity I shall never understand. Did someone say vampire? I volunteer his tribute. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you from the inside out. The key word I knew had compassion for all those under his charge. But they clad in robes of shackled and chained. Be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. God. Sees one cute boy, doesn't know how to talk anymore. Was that all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. You proved my opinion of you with every word. Damn, that was really mean. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential, to be son to Master La Habrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. Dang, dog, that really hurt my feelings. But of course, it's always about La Habrea. Silence. You are not worthy to utter his name. His own dad? For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities, beyond your shallow reckoning. I have slipped the surely bonds of my mortality. Surely bonds? Surely bonds. I've become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As is Hemitheos, shall I serve Master La Habrea, ever faithful unto the end of my days. Oh, this is a lot of reading for someone who hasn't had breakfast yet. And he shall require no other. I thank God! Are you so blinded by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Eric is more capable than you could ever know. Aww. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of interment, but how to wield it and how to break free of it. Let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Weaklings though they be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly, to say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Where they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts of Asphodelos, I continue my work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Eric. Even dullards have their uses. Oh my. Sexy vampire man. The sass on this one? For real, he's sassy as hell. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphodelos himself. More than that revelation, however, Eric worries me. He loved Hesperos with his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for him, for his resolve. Yeah. Just give me the next one. Much as I am loath to disturb Eric so soon after what just occurred, I'm afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events, concerning both the keyword and his father. There you are. Just staring off into the void, of course you are. The creation of the ward which surrounds Pandæmonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. So it is true. I'm La Habrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, it had not... I had... It had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. It was La Habrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher there. La Habrea. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword before La Habrea. She is your mother, yes? Hey, your dad has probably seen my friend's wiener, or rather, will. That's weird to me. What? Oh, God. Jail. Jail, jail, jail. How astute. I can see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. Did you forget that he possessed Frankrid? Wow, Thancred? No, I did not. I did not forget that. Yes, I remember. I remember. Oh, God, guys. Oh. La Buborea. That's what was said after the bread possesses Franklin. But I thought this was a Meggie stream, not an Eric stream. Jesus Christ. Seriously, this is so much talk of wiener. Come on. Jeez Louise. Look a good job. Ay. Alright, everybody. Just, why don't we all just put it back in our pants? You've the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. Whose wiener did I miss? Franklin. Vampire showed his forbidden glizzy. You missed it. Oh my god. Ay. Jesus Christ. I see there's little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why La Habrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. And La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Ah, I see. She's no longer with us, an expression to convey the end of a life. Yes, you automaton. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that oft he comes across as bold. On a side note, if we start talking about wieners anymore, someone needs to order us mimosas. Agreed! Apparently this is brunch? I didn't sign up for this. I left that Discord. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand after all, namely how to deal with Hesperos. We've yet to see the other borders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage of himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said that he's become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment? In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough merely to confine him after all he's done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it all truly so that he could serve his master? To my mind, he's merely put La Brea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. La Brea is the chief keyword of Pandæmonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Would we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I hate that I can't eat soap. We got some turmeric and lemongrass soap and I want to eat it. Oh, bub. It sounds like you're just craving curry. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in your past, but to see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Eric's plan. Thank you, Lyra. Yeah, dude, you just want like some Indian food or like some curry or something. Don't eat the soap, my friend. Don't eat soap. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of Vircolacus, a beast which feeds off the aether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged his essence with. And we know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. I am an absolute curry fiend. Curry first, soup second. That's my top two. Venus third. Yay! We got the fourth circle. Chicken wings, you pervert! I actually have some wings in the fridge right now. Oh, excuse me. I kind of want a hot dog. All this talk has just made me want a glizzy real bad. I know what I'm getting from the cutie on the way to work. Katsu curry. Ooh. Yeah, I actually have some of that at work too. I like my homemade one better though. Jalapeno and cheese sausage sounds so good right now. Ooh, like the snap. Mmm. With like some like spicy mustard. Ooh. Got two Hawaiian places I love getting katsu from. Yeah, my work just makes the cutlets too thin. Alright, is everybody still alive out here? I'm gonna do a ready check for the fourth circle. think Kunzu might have died. Oh, why? All this talk of wiener kind of wiped me out. I'm just hungry. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Sorry, my car's at the shop getting some like maintenance done, and I was getting a phone call, and I really need that maintenance done before I have to go to work. I didn't want them to cancel on me, and I got scared. Alrighty, let me see. More evidence cars are too much effort. They really are. If I lived somewhere that public transport would just like do it for me, I wouldn't drive. All right, time to grind. I'll be lurking. Thank you, Camo. Thank you so much. I appreciate the lurk. Wiped out my wiener. Oh my god. All right. I'm gonna do one more ready check and see if Moon is still around, and then if not, we will just have to leave my sweet, beautiful wife behind. I'm sorry, wife. I want to ride a bicycle or train everywhere. I hate cars. So much money. Agreed. Yeah, I like trains, buses. I like biking, too. Or even just a nice walk, you know? Yeah, driving it's just so dangerous. And I've been in a bad car accident. I really hate it. God, I wish we would support trains more in the US. Agreed. Of course, gotta get Senshi leveled. Aw. Good luck, friend. I would kill for a light rail system in our city. Agreed, same. The one time I took a train here, I saw someone get mugged. Never again. Oh. Oh boy. You said you'd be my driver? I will, just not here. Alright, let's go into the fourth circle. My wife, I'm sorry to leave you behind. I love you. that was fast. Nice. I'm so hungry. I want soup. I want soup now. I want tomato soup and grilled cheese. Give the girls soup. Agreed. I don't have any soup at home. Oh my god, you just hit my no pregnancy craving. Oh man. So good. What is a raid? Throws glass, a miserable little pile of mechanics, but enough talk have at you. Ooh, not the glasses off. Dang, why did I think he was gonna be the last fight? I thought he was gonna throw stuff at us first. Go for the wall for lightning, that's about it. Yeah, that was rude. you. I am having fun. We're walking for Pandæmonium. Oh, not again. Damn it. Ooh, no, both of our healers. Good, glad you hear that. Aw, thanks, Ada. I hope you've been doing well. Oh, geez. Okay, Nightbot. Everything at once. Thanks. Come join me in the spines. Burger, you're so silly. Wow, you guys. Let me see. Who got the minion? Well, it sure as hell wasn't me. I got both things? Aw, you brat. You've probably done this a lot more than me. Fair. And I did die like 2 times. Now, Themis, we end this here. That was only my 2nd time? Oh! You brat! Fools, I will not be put in chains. Oh! I've only done these once each, aside from just now with you. Oh, okay. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. He's huge. You're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. Huge. Why he's so big? I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. Dun, dun. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandæmonium. You had La Brea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. Hi, cutie vampire man. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be La Brea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power that La Brea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everything else? I've never heard of such a thing. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing, but perhaps that signifies not but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true, how it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. But we have spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? Let him cook. What? What is this presence? Eric, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. Death by Ravens! Hi! How are you, friend? It's good to see you. A warding sigil? How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to appraise the situation from there. Good, just doing re-clears? Nice, okay. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. I'm just unlocking some panda. You know, whatevers. I have like another hour and 20 minutes. Although we have defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandæmonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions, but could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that this same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affections for La Brea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer to power he could not refuse. An offer he couldn't refuse, eh? Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments, for more potential hemithioid. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not lose heart yet, Eric. Hesperos challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Hemitheos, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandæmonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield intermittent magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that? There's nothing stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos? Just so. I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement, however. You are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... You mean to send a report to La Brea? It's too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we can ascertain the whereabouts of other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, it means saving even a single life within Pandæmonium that I'm not above asking La Brea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with the utmost caution. To that end, Eric and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you're weary, and they're... yeah, you guys want me to just piss off. Got it. Still, I would help wheresoever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside the placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Yeah. Nonsense. You owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus's assault. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by the combining of our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandæmonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Lyra her rest. Besides, you have someone waiting a report of your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. Oh yeah, I guess I should check in with my friends. They probably want to know that I'm alive. Alrighty. Let's go do that real quick. I want to see if we can't get at least maybe one more circle unlocked before I have to start getting ready for work. Since I think like every 4 is when the cutscenes get a little on the long side, I'm only gonna hope for one more. Welcome. Back from the past, none of the worse for wear, I see. So what did you find? What did you find? Oh, I forgot the little voices I was doing for these guys. So, there is evil afoot in Pandæmonium. An already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. I gotta bounce, take care. Thanks, Mayhem! Have a good one. See you next time. It appears the voice Lyra heard from the crystals spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet ilm by ilm we shall unveil that mystery. With the help of Lyra, of course. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet she returns to the same present she left. Ah, that's confusing. Which can only mean one thing, that her intervention in Pandæmonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. Yeah, I forgot I was like technically in the past. There's no telling what consequences would arise if we stopped pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandæmonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples could carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancient, and their despair would leave indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only fuel the terrible beast that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If little scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandæmonium? Yeah, dude, I don't have a choice. Yes, 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 I'll go back. Oh, excuse me. My goodness. I cannot promise any meaningful result for some time, and matters in Elpis seem to be in a similar state. Allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into the critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Claudian? Or no. Mylene is an expert in armaments and from throughout history. Be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges, should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras, and would give you goods in return that should aid you in trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to pursue the records of events you have reported here, Nemjiji has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. Cute. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental, something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. Bro, these people are so long-winded. I forgot. Talking to scholars is the worst. Everyone here just yap, 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 yap. Whoa. That looks cool. Eating too much cake is the sin of gluttony, but eating too much pie is okay because the sin of pie is always 0. Hi, Sonic Anime 2016. Welcome in, friend. How are you? Bad? Onion, what bad? My omelet, why? Why cry? Why do you cry? I sad when math? Oh no. That's okay, it's okay. No, there's not gonna be any more math, I promise. Welcome in, Sonic. Thanks for joining us, I appreciate it. We're just doing some Pandæmonium in Final Fantasy XIV. Feel free to bring as much cake and or pie as you like. But keep the math at the door. I've made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say... What must you say, friend? Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Yes, of course, my apologies. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. I mean, feel free to get straight to it, bub. Perhaps we should start from the beginning. With a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides containing the memories of a party yet unknown. Oh, you're literally just surmising what happened already. Yeah, okay. No, I remember. Okay, from here, since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole. And indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. They gotta remind people because there's some months between each raid set. Yeah, I figured. I was like, oh, this was immediate for me, and it was not immediate for anyone who played this as it came out. Like when you start the new season of a show and they have a recap that you like don't need because you're actually just binging it a few years later. Skip. Excuse me. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. We should get you caught up on the Dawn Trail Alliance raids at some point. Third one is gonna come out in a few months. Yeah, they gotta hit you with those remember when. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was gonna do it once I'm finished with Pandæmonium, or maybe I can start it once we get to like the halfway point of Pandæmonium. Let me see, we just did the first circle. So, let me see. Pandæmonium. Oh, wow, wait. Okay, there's Asphodelos, and then Abyssos, and then Anabasios, and Abasios. there's 12 circles. Carry on my wayward son, please. Will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Lyra grace us with her protection? I'm afraid she has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Busanad. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandæmonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean. Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. Oh, wow. Greedy. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard, much as it spoke only to you last time. None but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for his crystal seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have this adventure, and upon his return, I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. Alright. I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandæmonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandæmonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Bearing exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept the records of the results. Ah, brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Lyra is yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only her strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Yay, a fetch quest! Alright, now we've got the savages. Now we need to go to Oikos. I believe this is the right quest. Let's see. Yeah. Here we are. Alrighty, give us your paperwork. Oh, he can't? Perhaps instead, I'll rest for a spell. There's nothing else. I shall take my leave. Okay. As should we, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance of Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandæmonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Eric's capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. Less reading, more punching things. Oh, let me get closer. Let me go the easy way. There we go. As I have pondered our expedition into Pandæmonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Brea. Whether it be for good or ill, Hesperos and Eric were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looked to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions towards a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude towards my mother and father, that we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself, and is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandæmonium seem to view La Brea with a feeling of approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling, besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my question to a member of the wards of La Brea. My apologies to having kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you are conducting an investigation on Pandæmonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandæmonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the wards of La Brea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? Sorry, y'all, give me 1 sec. Ooh, sorry, I was just breaking my neck real casual there. Alright, let's continue on. I'm gonna wrap up stream here soon, though, because I am ravenous. Let's see. At first, I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Brea themselves. Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot but feel that the Academia Uniter would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? Those are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmised, the majority of the creations kept within Pandemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet, as the years passed, interests changed. Failures in creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, and in fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master La Brea. Such authority is reserved for the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Brea's authority, correct? Ooh, that's a harsh question. Ooh, and that made him mad. I know not what you're suggesting, but the key wards also hold some sway with this facility. Not even Master La Brea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit as of late their communication has been somewhat sporadic, we but recently received a report from one of the key wards stating that all is well within Pandemonium's halls. Uh-huh? Really? And you are certain that a key ward sent it? Yes, of course. Our communication suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. Who the hell sent that message? All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of our remaining key wards is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandemonium with haste. Ay. Well, of course, now it starts to get a little juicy, right as I said I was gonna go get some food. Man, your stomach is making it hard for you to read, huh? I'm really hungry. Also, this is a lot of words. I am but one egg. I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more key ward to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Eric at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Besides, I still think I'm doing an okay job, all things considered. Won't someone just tell me I'm doing a good job? You are. Thank you. I just love seeing you. You're doing all right. You know what, Lababalot? I'll take it. I aim to do the bare minimum. You're doing a great job. Aw, shucks, you guys. Thank you, son. There's so many ding-dang words. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? Ooh, yucky. There is something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares? Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? Evil and intimidating egg. I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster is locked away. Thanks to you, I don't have to read this myself. You're welcome. That it is. In spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add, begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you, and I will make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Habrea, your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I've heard those words many times, the scolding of a tutor whose student struggles to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperos. That can only mean one thing. Bye, Coyote Hawk. I hope you have a good nap. That still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea. At last, you moved to keep up. Pity that you remained behind, nevertheless. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandæmonium's great experiment. There's the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. Doth I sense daddy issues this guy has with the discount eye of Sauron? It would appear so. What are you? Uninvited guests join our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. My Google book. Many such cases in Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, Meggie, I gotta run. Hope you have a good time. Thanks, Ada! Yeah, I'm gonna be ending after this cutscene, actually. It's time for me to go as well. I hope you have a good one. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. Alrighty, y'all. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'll finish this one and pick up the next one. Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Alright, after this cutscene, we'll end stream. And so there can be but one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There's logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitudes of his work with the Convocation and the Words, his relatively minor role as Chief Keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provided him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You've met him, yes? Do you think he's capable of this? It truly is a puzzle with many missing pieces. Still, I see you do not deny outright the possibility that La Habrea is a man with few scruples. That alone should be enough. Let me assure you, La Habrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandæmonium and pull back the curtain of this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth of it if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomforting to behold. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. La Habrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandæmonium. We can safely assume the other key wards won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Eric's side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, the Phantom Warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the Key Ward's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. Dun, dun, dun. Alright guys, let's do the 5th circle tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I might be able to do a stream tonight around 10 p.m. But if I do, it's probably just going to be Dawn Trail post MSQ. And I'm going to save Pandæmonium for the morning streams for this week. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head off, and I'm going to get some food. I'm starving. Let me see. Is it a good day to raid? We could do a little raid. We could do a little baby raid. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do we have any friends on? Oh, it's somebody's birthday. Let's go raid our little cutie friend Floralis. It's her birthday. She's playing Final Fantasy XIV today too. And she's raising some money, which is always nice. Thank you guys. Thank you Omelet. Thank you Lababalot. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate you. I hope I get to see you on a night stream tonight. If not, I'll see you first thing in the morning. Bye!